Back in 1999, SEGA did something completely insane. They dropped an arcade game that lacked a complex storyline, had zero combat, and gave you exactly one job: pick up passengers and drive like an absolute maniac. It was pure, unadulterated adrenaline. Crazy Taxi became an instant classic, dominating arcades and later saving the Dreamcast from being a total ghost town. But if you think Crazy Taxi was just a shallow, chaotic cash grab designed to drain your quarters, you missed the entire point. Beneath that bright, arcade exterior lies a masterpiece of game design, hidden mechanics that modern developers are still trying to replicate, and massive pop culture secrets hiding in plain sight. Before we dive into the hidden genius of this game, I gotta ask you guys, am I tripping, or do modern arcade games completely lack this level of soul? Drop your favorite arcade memory in the comments right now. Let's see how many old-school gamers we have in the house. Let's start with the stuff you actually missed while playing the advanced physics. To the casual gamer, Crazy Taxi controls felt clunky or overly simplistic. But competitive players know that SEGA hid fighting game-level combo mechanics inside a driving simulator. We're talking about the Crazy Dash and the Crazy Drift. By exploiting the game's transmission mechanics with precise button timing, you could instantly break the physics engine, bypassing standard acceleration entirely. If you weren't spamming these inputs every 3 seconds, you weren't just playing poorly, you were missing out on how the game was mechanically designed to be broken. And then there's the collision physics. In 1999, hitting a wall in a racing game meant a complete stop. In Crazy Taxi, hitting a wall at the correct angle actually preserved your momentum, launching you into vertical shortcuts. SEGA essentially created a racing game where the environment wasn't an obstacle, it was a weapon. Be honest, did you actually master the Crazy Dash back in the day? Or were you just slamming the joystick and hoping for the best? Let me know down below, because honestly, that timing was brutal. The next thing you definitely missed, or rather, the newer generation completely missed out on, is the world building. If you play Crazy Taxi today on modern consoles or mobile, the map feels generic. You're dropping people off at Pizza Parlor or Tower Records. But the original 1999 release was a time capsule of peak American consumerism. SEGA signed massive deals with real-world corporate giants. You weren't delivering passengers to generic locations. You were literally drifting into a real Pizza Hut, parking outside an actual KFC, and dropping mall goths off at Feline's basement. This wasn't just lazy product placement. It gave the fictional, heavily stylized version of San Francisco an insane sense of realism. When SEGA lost the licensing rights for later ports, the game lost a massive piece of its identity. The world felt emptier, less alive. This brings up a huge debate in modern gaming. Do real-world brands make a game world better, or does it just feel like corporate greed? Would you want to see real brands in a new Crazy Taxi game? Tell me your thoughts in the comments. But real-world brands weren't the only crazy thing about this game. SEGA actually went to war in the federal courts to protect Crazy Taxi. In 2001, SEGA filed a massive lawsuit against EA for their game The Simpsons Road Rage, claiming it completely ripped off Crazy Taxi's patented gameplay mechanics. Yes, SEGA actually patented the concept of arrows guiding you to passengers in an open world. They settled out of court for millions, but it fundamentally changed how patent laws worked in the gaming industry. Imagine a world where nobody else could use a navigation arrow in an open-world game. That's the level of power Crazy Taxi held back then. And we can't talk about what you missed without talking about the soundtrack. For USA gamers, Crazy Taxi was their introduction to punk rock. Bands like the Offspring and Bad Religion didn't just provide background noise, their tracks were hard-coded into the game's tempo. The faster the beat, the faster you drove. It was psychological game design at its finest. When modern ports replaced this music due to expired licenses, the game literally felt slower. Let me know in the comments right now, did you play the original version with the punk rock soundtrack? Or did you get stuck with the generic watered-down music on newer consoles? Drop your thoughts below. Finally, the biggest things you missed are the secrets hidden at the bottom of the ocean and inside the menus. If you drove off the map into the deep waters of the San Francisco Bay, you didn't die. You could actually drive on the seabed, completely bypassing traffic. It was an intentional developer Easter egg that very few casual players ever discovered. Then there was the Crazy Box mode. Most kids skipped this to jump straight into the main arcade mode. But Crazy Box contained insane challenges like taxi bowling and massive ski jumps that forced you to master the physics engine. It was essentially the precursor to modern challenge modes in games like Trackmania. Crazy Taxi was never just a simple arcade game. It was a mechanically complex, culturally defining masterpiece that fought legal battles, shaped modern open-world navigation, and defined an entire era of gaming. So, what do you think? Is SEGA's upcoming Crazy Taxi reboot going to live up to this legendary legacy, or is it going to be a modern disappointment? Hit that subscribe button to stay locked into M2 Gaming YT for more deep dive gaming breakdowns, and smash that like button if this video brought back some core memories. See you in the next one.